Recording in progress.
Happy Ukrainian Christmas. Happy New Year. My name is Peter Scales. I have been attending, this is a slip, Capital UU for almost 20 years. I am proud to share leadership in this congregation with many talented people who are in this room and on Zoom. When I was a kid, I was one of those nerds who loved early September because I got new school supplies. They held the promise of great things. I am excited at the start of any new year, and I feel that 2024 is going to be a big year for Capital. And a bit like going to a new school for a new grade, today we are meeting in a new place in Norway House on Hillside Avenue to check it out as a possible forever home for our happy little congregation. The advertising blurb said, "What was the single best thing that happened in 2023? What was the single most challenging thing that happened? What was the biggest thing you learned during 2023? Those were the three questions, and then there's a hope. What are your hopes for 2024 in terms of community, wellness, and spiritual health? I want to talk about Capital UU Congregation from my position as the Director of Sunday Services, leading a small team to shape the core of almost every Sunday service. During the forum, I want to hear from you about your hopes for the congregation and for you in 2024. We made it through the pandemic. During 2023, we met in person and on Zoom. Nobody got COVID from coming to a UU service. Nobody in this congregation died in 2023. Some tried, but we attracted new members and friends during 2023. They bring their life experiences, their curiosity about Unitarianism, and their good ideas. When there are newcomers in our midst, each of us is a greeter, and each of us can be a teacher. Let me say that again. Each of us is a greeter, and each of us can teach about Unitarianism. Last February, I spoke about changes in church attendance in Victoria and in Canada, based on the Census of Canada, on research being done at the UVic Centre for Studies of Religion and Society, and my own observations. Many of us see the collapse of the Anglican and United Churches in Victoria as their populations age, amalgamate, and die. One of the things that stands out for me is that in Victoria, a leader in church abandonment, as cities go, Capital continues to be the little congregation that could. I believe that there are many factors that contribute to us keeping our numbers up. We have a healthy balance sheet. We are led by a hands-on board of directors and a tight staff. We have interesting Sunday services. We're generally energetic and fun-loving, and we don't take ourselves too seriously. We had successes in 2023. We had a wide range of interesting and impactful homilies, fascinating guest speakers, well-attended and engaged forums, great music program, the addition of OWL technology, a gift from Mike Reese, consistent setup and Zoom management by Amanda Tarling. Among the highlights of 2023 for me, the Reverend Ann Barker did 7 sermons and led us in workshops, and she shared her wisdom and experience by attending all of the board meetings and all the Sunday Service Committee meetings in 2023 during her contracted time with us. As a congregation, we took 9 weeks off in the summertime. During those 9 weeks off, some attended nearby Christian churches or synagogues. Some went to our sister Unitarian Church on West Stanage Road. Some attended the Zoom services of other UU congregations. And many of our members spent Sunday mornings in reverence for our natural surroundings. We also had challenges. Our challenges and frustrations with the James Bay New Horizons, short notice speaker cancellations and changes. We had to start the process of moving to a new venue. One or two of our guest speakers did not have the impact we were hoping for. But as far as I can tell, nobody resigned from Capital because of a single speaker or that a single place was a dud. Everyone realizes that this congregation is run by enthusiastic amateurs who are doing our best. The Sunday Service Committee is composed of Heather, who I believe is in New Zealand right now, Lee, Amanda, and me. Jim Skauge served with us for a few months in 2023, and the Reverend Ann Barker attended our meetings while she was on contract to Capital. Some of you don't know Jim Skauge. He lives in Hawaii and was commuting back and forth and has decided to settle more firmly in Hawaii. I can't imagine why. Each month, this committee meets to discuss what we think Capital needs to or wants to hear. We reach out to interesting people and ask them to speak on either their favorite topic or on a topic that we suggest. Then we coordinate the speaker, the music, the readings, and the forum. It's an impactful job, which for the most part happens out of sight, except for 45 Sundays a year. We try to keep in mind a balance of these themes: UUism, paganism, world religions, LGBTQ issues, social justice, indigenous spirituality, humanism, arts and culture, and our principles, juggling all of those balls. We try to ensure that each Sunday's topic is linked to a UU principle or source. I'm not going to read the list of the last 45 services, except for some highlights. 7 homilies from the Reverend Ann Barker, 6 from Amanda Tarling, 5 from me, 3 from Lee, 2 from Joy. She's going to bump that number up for this year, I think. And many guest speakers. Looking through the list, I thought, really? I attended, I think, all of these. Do people remember that we had a service, a visiting speaker on veganism, dairy, and decolonization? Yes. Yeah. Fantastic. That we talked about, there was another one here, that Joy led one on gifts of the Spirit. And that Lee led one that was an artwork, and we all had coloring pencils and paper and scissors. Just the blunt, roundy-edge scissors, though, because of last time's incident. And we learned about Cadboro Bay archaeology and how a First Nations village site was being excavated by someone who had also been a kid in this congregation many, many years ago and is now an archaeologist. The Sunday Service Committee always welcomes feedback and homily ideas. During 2023, you told us that you love Attila's piano playing. You love Pebbles of Joy and Concern. And you love singing. Some of you prefer minister-led services, and some do not. You also told us that you like it when we start on time and end on time. And when the pebble goes in the water before the talking. That was very firm feedback. One of the Unitarian principles is that UU congregations affirm and promote acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations. I have grown incrementally from UU services and talks that I have heard. Not every service is impactful, and some go over my head. Some homilies have helped me to define who I already am. Some homilies have given me fodder for thinking about my life and purpose. I have learned about religions, gender expressions, food ways, and ways of marking significant life events. Capital Sunday Service Committee works thoughtfully to bring homilies that will inspire and educate our fellow congregants, and we prepare our speakers for the forum. All of us could probably use some spiritual growth, even those of us who don't call ourselves spiritual. 2024 is going to be a big year, like all years. We all hope for peace in Ukraine, Israel and Palestine, Sudan, Iran, and the US southern border. We hope that our municipal and provincial officials can find humane solutions to the toxic drug supply crisis and homelessness crisis in Greater Victoria. If the current politicians seem particularly ineffective, then we look forward to BC's provincial general election on October 19th. As neighbors, we will watch with mixed emotions as the United States holds their elections in November. We are excited by medical advances that bring people back from strokes, heart attacks, cancer, and broken femurs. We look forward to job opportunities and successes for our working people. My eyes are wide as I look toward 2024, and I look forward to 45 thought-provoking services in our religious/spiritual/humanistic community. Do you have a homily in mind that you would like to write and give? Do you have ideas for interesting speakers? Or would you like to team up with somebody to give a talk? Would you like to serve on the Sunday Service Committee to help with setting the course for 2024? During the forum after this service, I look forward to hearing your thoughts. If you choose not to speak up during the forum, or you have to leave at 11 o'clock, but you still want to reach out to me or the board privately, let's chat and make sure that happens. The Unitarian principle that we affirm and promote acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations is alive at Capital. The nurturing of that principle is in our hands. Thank you. And with that,